Hello, everyone out there. Yes, today I am making a training or tutorials on the pleated Zara cap. And to do that, I already create the pleat using my sewing machine. Of course, if you are not going to sew, you can do a body pleat on the Zara. That is, use your hand to create the pleat. And as you create the pleat, you glue it down. All right. So, but I used my sewing machine, which is the quickest means of creating the pleat. All right, so I use my sewing machine to first of all create the pleat, and then after that I cut out a separate material to wrap the marco. So I wrapped my marco with a plain satin before using the pleated part to cover it up. The length of the marco I used is about 24 inches, and then the width, which is the wideness of the marco, is 3 inches. So it now means that the material I'm using to cover will be width about 6.5 inches, and then the length will be about 26 inches, because I need extra from both the left and the right to do my covering. All right, and then I have to also make sure that it is smooth. That's why you see that I'm applying the glue to the edges and then pulling tight. By the time you do that, you see that the material will come out shining, and the fabric will not have any side or any part of it that is popping up. It will just be very smooth and neat. So when I fold it like this, I'm just going to use my needle and thread to fold and then sew. All right, so it's quite easy. But if you are thinking, how do I achieve this pattern of Zara cap, what do I need to do? I think the answer is here. Just watch this video to the end and then thank me later. All right, so the part I want to use to cover it as the pleated part, I have prepared the pleat already. So the pleat, I used my sewing machine to prepare the pleat. So I have already prepared the pleat. So what I'll have to do now is to gum or glue the pleated part on top of this cap, and I'm using a E7000 glue. So I'm going to start from the back, the 50-50 from the back, which is the part I told you has to be covered. That is the part I sewed. So 50-50 from that part to the left and to the right. And then the length of my material is up to like 30 inches or 35. So I have some excess part that I would be cutting out when I am done. So I'm just going to glue it flat on the surface, and then when it gets to the part where I have to cross, I will cross it, and then later I will push it. So we are going to cut out the excess from the first 50, then make sure that we slip it down. You can see that this particular part of the plate, I did not slant it up at all. So I did not slant this one up. I just glue it flat, glue it very flat, because the second one will step on it and then cross into the cap from there. So it's time to glue the second one. So we'll still apply the E7000 glue. One thing I hate about the E7000 is the fact that you have to apply all your strength to press out that glue. In short, it's very frustrating. So sometimes I cut off the head if I know that I'm going to uh, use so much of it and maybe it's almost finishing. So don't cut your own. So I cut open that very tiny part so that I can have enough. Don't cut everything so that you can still lock it if you are cutting. All right. So you can see what I'm doing now. I'm trying to fold back. That's why I did not pleat everything. Even the space I left is too small. Because I'm supposed to be able to fold back to cover the last line of the pleat. That is where the thread of the pleat is showing. So I'll just fold it backward, pleat it on top of it. I'll use hot glue or the UHU glue or E7000 glue to glue it down. So it will not cover. You will not see anywhere that is sewn, especially if you are not ready to attach any form of embellishment. Hmm? Then the remaining part is the part I'm supposed to glue into the cap itself, because you cannot leave the edges like this. So you have to like dress it. You have to dress it so that it can glue into the cap. All right. So let's just see how to do the final wrapping. All right, so what I did with that plain pattern is what I have done with this Ankara. So the reason I did not use the Ankara for that beginning part of the explanation is because the Ankara pleat, you would not be able to see it properly. All right, so that's why I had to use a plain material for you to see. Huh? So after I tuck in every part of the pleat into the cap itself, now I covered it. So after making sure that you dress every rough edges into the folded marco, you use your hot glue to glue them, the excess pleated part that went into the marco, you cut it out. Use your razor blade to cut it very neatly out. Then you use your cover and cover it. So the measurement of the cover I used is 7 inches. That is the radius. The radius for the cover is 7 inches. When I mean radius, you fold the material into four, and from the sharp edge that look like a triangle, you take a measurement of 7 and move it round the way you cut a circle. Yes, so the radius I used is 7. So it was big, and because I needed to do a little bit of style at the middle, I had to pull it together and create the gathering at the back, so it added to the beauty of the cap. All right. So you have to sew the design to the Zara cap before you do your second covering, because the Zara cap, you cover it twice. So you have to do the finishing of your design before you cover it. This is to enable you cover the rough thread that you use in sewing. So you can see that I'm still attaching my roses to the back, and the measurement of material I used to create these roses. If you see the creloning I fixed inside is the 6 inches creloning, and you see that it was sitting comfortably inside. So I used 13 inches for the width, so that you use 1 inch to close. On a fold it will be 6 inches for the creloning, and then for the length can go as long as you want, but at least 40 to 35 to 40 inches is perfect for that length, because you don't want it to be too full and shoky. at the back of your Zara cap. So after sewing everything I know that I need to sew, doing all the thread work on the back, I'll simply use the cream material that you are seeing there to cover. And by the time I cover it, every rough work, every thread movement, and everything that makes the inside looks rough now will just disappear, because it will just be covered, it will be hidden, you can no longer see it. All right, so that's just it. All right, let me just use this opportunity to welcome everyone that is discovering Creative Ends International for the first time. If today is your first time discovering my channel and you are watching this video right now, I want to say thank you for stopping by my channel. And then if you like my video, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and then hit on the notification bell, so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be among the first persons that would be notified that there is a new video. On this platform, everything that has to do with headwear, head fashion is what I deal on, ranging from art to fascinators to auto gele, Zara cap, everything that has to do with um, head fashion, headband, and everything, just everything you can think of that has to do with head fashion. So if you're a beginner in this business, I know that to a great extent there are a lot of testimonies that my videos have been helping a lot of creators out there, and I'm so excited about it. I'll be very glad if you can join our community today. So thank you very much. Thank you so very much. So this is, you can see how the back is looking. If not for the fact that the creloning was inside, we will not be able to get this look. So the reason I use the plain fabric, you cannot really see the pleated part on this, but that's the pleat and the crossing. That's what I'm trying to show to you now. So after doing that, we'll simply use the cream material to cover it. Remember, I told you before, I said I use the radius of 7 inches to um, cut out my circle, and then I just fix inside, cover it, and then I will use elastic. I'll use elastic to do the finishing, and you see how beautiful it will be at the end of the day. Yeah. All right, so thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget, you can also recommend my channel to other persons that you know are creators out there that might also need to learn from me. All right, so bye for now. I'll see you in my next video, but please ensure you watch the remaining part of this video to the end. All right.